these tough financial sanctions. Let's talk about this with Soraya Sepapa-Ulrich, independent researcher and writer on the line from California there. Soraya, hi.
Hello.
China is still exposed, and as we're mentioning there, to these penalties. What message is the US sending to Beijing then, do you think?
Well, clearly the United States regards China as its rival, and it's been fighting China on all fronts, be it assertions of human rights, agitation in Tibet, and now aiming the sanctions at China to weaken its economy. So the message is pretty clear to China.
Well, okay, well, China's rejected the unilateral sanctions against Iran, but do you think it may give in to the US pressure on the issue again, eventually? I say again, I meant eventually.
Well, one would hope not. I mean, it doesn't serve China's national interest, although America's ally Saudi Arabia has always wanted to step up to, make up for the energy needs of China. But it's not just a question of getting its energy from a different source. It's a question of succumbing to a power that wants to basically eliminate China. If China does kowtow to Americans' demands, then it's really, in fact, giving up part of its own sovereign decision-making. And for a country that has developed so much and has gained so much internationally, that's a very tough price to pay. It's a very tough price to pay.
Sorry, there's so much of the melting pot here, isn't there? I mean, the US doesn't need to work closely with India as part of its Asia strategy and its attempts to contain China's influence in the region. First question, is India ready to confront Beijing? And what are the dangers of irritating China? That's the big one too, isn't it?
It certainly is. China, of course, as your viewers know, is one of America's biggest trade partners, and it is the second biggest economy in the world. American politicians have made it very clear what their ultimate goal is, which is global domination. They've expressed this in writings such as the unipolar moment, constructive destruction, and what have you. So although China is right now their immediate target, and that's aside from the countries that are going through upheaval thanks to the United States, India will not be very safe in the long run. I mean, if you recall, in the late 60s, the United States and China basically joined forces to align themselves against the stronger Soviet Union. But now China is, in fact, the direct target of the United States, one way or the other, whether sanctions, agitations, what have you. So India should be very careful and understand where it wants to be in the future, whether it wants to help this destruction. How's
all this going to play out? I mean, be it over which side India takes, where its alliances are, be it over Iran, be it over the US military build-up in China's backyard. How much patience, going back to a question I guess I asked you just now, how much patience do you think Beijing has here? What are the dangers?
Well, Beijing has not shown any political will to confront the United States. I think it's buying its time. But at the same time, they're shoring up the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and India is very eager to be a part of that. Granted that it doesn't have a leadership, the Shanghai Organization, but it is formidable in this, especially if India were allowed to join it. In terms of just the military soldiers, the resources available, and it would really be a block against the United States imperial agenda. So China is buying its time, but how soon will it give up? It's really anybody's guess.
Thanks for being on the programme, Soraya Sepapa-Ulrich, independent researcher and writer on the line there from California.